I remember liking the first episode. I think I maybe had some like, it was cooking. I was like, I need to let it cook and see what's going on here, but I did really like it. So I'm excited to get back into it today. I'm gonna have a look at extras because I'm gonna see if it reminds me of what my choices were. Let me know how audio levels are, by the way. Okay, yeah, so we had trophies, which were just for completing each episode, so that's fine. Oh, although I missed that one. Unlock all Book of Fables entries in episode 1. Okay, I missed that. So some of the trophies are related to the Book of Fables, which I guess are unlockables. So I didn't get all the trophies from episode 1. Okay, that's interesting. And the Book of Fables is this. Yeah, there's one entry missing. Ooh, I wonder if that's because I missed something in the first episode, in that case. Okay, we've got a couple of updates in the Book of Fables. So, Bigby's Mercy is the first one. In the days leading up to the Exodus, the big bad wolf hunted armies of men and goblins in the Black Forest. These invading forces had driven off the great beast's preferred quarry, and their own flesh was rotten with corruption. Hardly a suitable replacement. He made it his game to destroy their camps, devour their night watchmen, and disrupt their supply trains while sparing their prisoners. One day he broke their ranks and discovered a particular woman they held captive. Her skin was white as snow, but her hair was dark as the night sky. He approached her, and she, knowing no sword could match the giant wolf's power, bravely placed her shackles in the beast's mouth. He freed her, but years would pass before the two met again in the Mundy world. Oh, okay. So this is backstory about Bigby and Snow White. This is really interesting. So it looks like Snow White was captured by someone for some reason. It's kind of vaguely referred to armies of men and goblins, so I don't know what they were doing or who they were or why they would capture Snow White. It's a bit vague. Interesting. Okay. Snow White died at the end of the last episode. That was pretty crazy. So, I was shook by that. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Holly, Trip Trap owner. Oh, this is the bar that we were in at the end of the first episode. Holly is a no-nonsense kind of troll and the owner of the Trip Trap bar. She's glamoured to appear human, but her patrons know better. Holly takes good care of her regulars, often the downtrodden Fables, with little to spare. But she has no patience for the Fabletown government and has done nothing to locate her missing sister. Okay, interesting. I remember last time talking a little bit about the politics of the world. We kind of started to get into that. There's a lot going on here in that regard, so it'll be interesting to see more this episode. Yeah, and all of the like non-human fables have to pay money, and it's getting more expensive for these spells called glamours, which make them look like humans. Okay, so Holly has a missing sister, and the Fable town government is shit and is not helping her out. And also she's one of the oppressed non-humans who's being exploited through the glamour industrial complex. Grendel, Drifter. I think Grendel was also at the bar. Grendel And also, Grendel rings a bell. I think I know what fairy tale Grendel is from, but I don't remember. I'll Google it in a minute. Grendel just wants to be left alone. In the old days, he terrorized Norse mead halls, but lately he can be found occupying a stool in various quiet, dumpy bars around New York. He hates the noise of the city, but must work here to afford his glamour. Despite his gruff bearing, he's fiercely loyal to those who have learned to offer him the space and silence he desires. Talking to him is like watching a time bomb tick down. It's only a matter of time. Grendel, I think, is from Beowulf. So Beowulf isn't a fairy tale. It's an epic poem. I'm gonna Google this to make sure. Grendel. Yes. Haha. I remember this from university. Yeah. Grendel and then Grendel's mother and the dragon are the major antagonists in Beowulf. Wow. I guess I didn't study English literature for no reason, huh? Yeah. Okay, interesting. I'm wondering what, like, these games really count as, like, a fairy tale, or what they're using in that regard. Because I kind of mentioned this last time, but it's definitely very, like, Western-centric, and then there was the whole dodgy thing with the genie. But, I don't know, like, Beowulf is, like, are you considering that a fairy tale? What's the criteria to meet a fairy tale? Anyway, it's an epic poem. An Anglo-Saxon epic poem, specifically. Bluebeard, wealthy scoundrel. I think I've read this before, so I think we'd read Bluebeard before. Okay, so we're all up to date on the Book of Fables, except for the fact that I didn't manage to get everything. Last time, there's one entry I missed. I wonder if you can get them all the first time, or if I'd need to make a different choice to get the other one. So we'll wait and see. I'm just going to refresh on player choices real quick. Did you give Faith your money? You and 84.5% of players gave Faith your money. Did you tell the beast the truth about Beauty? You and 59% of players lied and said you hadn't seen her. Where did you decide to go first? You and 30.8% of players went to see Prince Lawrence before helping Toad. What happened to Prince Lawrence? You prevented Prince Lawrence's death. Okay, Slay. So, Prince Lawrence is alive, but Toad is mad at me. I'm lying to Beast about Beauty because I'm going to take Beauty's side on this. And also, I think I didn't have money to pay Holly because I gave Faith my money. Faith was sadly murdered. Who is your prime suspect? You and 26.8% of players didn't say anything to Snow. I just figured it was pretty early on, so I didn't want to... Like, I didn't have enough information to have a prime suspect. But the suspects were Prince Lawrence, the Huntsman, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Bluebeard, and the mysterious pimp that Faith was supposed to be working for. Who did you arrest? When it came down to the wire? You and 68.7% of players made sure Tweedledee didn't get away. That was between Tweedledee and the Huntsman. Okay, cool. I'm all up to date. I'm all caught up. Before we get into it... Okay, we'll get into it in just a second. But before we do, I just want to remind everyone quickly about our fundraiser for medical aid for Palestinians. So we're still raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. You will be able to see the donation bar in the top of our screen. Sorry, it's on that side. It's on the other side. We're currently at £1,765. We're trying to raise £2,000. Every little helps. So if you have the means to donate, then !Palestine. In the chat, we'll bring up the link to our fundraiser, and we really appreciate every donation. If you donate, please feel free to mention that you have done it in the chat so that I can give you a shout out. And if you would like to learn more about the Palestinian struggle, then !BDS in the chat will bring up the website for Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions, where you can learn more about what you can do to support the movement for Palestinian liberation. And the other link that we'll bring up is the Decolonize Palestine website, which is a really fantastic resource for learning more about Palestinian history, the Palestinian struggle, how to debunk common Zionist myths, and all of that jazz. So yeah, still raising money. If you're able to support our fundraiser, then we really, really appreciate it. But without any further ado, let's get into the game. Start episode 2, Smoke and Mirrors. Let's go.
Mr. Toad?
Do something, Bigby, before he completely tears up the place.
Whoa, 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 hey, hey!
You've got something on your face.
Fuck are you talking about, you stupid cunt?
Rest in peace, Faith. That's garbage for real.
As bad as everyone says you are.
Please, Bigby. Promise me you won't tell Beast.
Oh my god, Beauty was voiced by Melissa Hutchinson.
Thank you
I forgot about that.
for trusting
Melissa
me.
Hutchinson?
Have you seen my wife? Have you seen Beauty?
Is that...
Come with me.
I've just blanked on the voice actor for Clementine.
Don't interrupt me, Miss Snow.
You
So I'm
asked me a
double-checking.
question.
Don't change the subject. You are to blame for this
Yes,
unpleasantness, Miss
okay.
Snow.
Melissa Hutchinson. I don't know why I said the correct name, but for some reason my brain was like, said that wrong.
But he said if word of this ever got back to him, if he ever thought you knew, or Miss White, he'd come back and kill my boy.
I'm looking for the woodsman.
Well, he's not here.
Ollie, you're out of paper towels and they're gonna string me up, Bigby. Like you said, it looks fucking bad. It looks really
Okay,
bad,
my
but I
instinct was
didn't
that the
do it.
woodsman
Alright, I got $100 for the first bloke.
is
who can
not
tell
as
me something about
suspicious
a
to
girl
me
named-
as Tweedledum
Fuck,
and
man.
Tweedledee.
This fucking lapdog. He comes sniffing around this place. Rich fucks in the woods need to shake down. Ain't that right, Bigby?
Now things are worse off than they've ever been.
Well, that's
Oh, I
not
forgot about Snow White's
We've had
cunty
it worse.
little girl boss outfit with the snowflakes on her shirt. Okay, we're not getting a flashback to the fact that she fucking died. Like, she got fucking decapitated. Oof. You know, the aesthetics on this game are pretty fucking great, it must be said. It's the colors, the lighting, it's got some pretty strong moments, for sure.
Mr. Wolf!
That was compelling. Visually compelling. Oh, rest in peace. Rest in peace, no.
You're making this more difficult than it has to
Upper
be.
West Side Precinct the following afternoon.
If you just cooperate and answer the questions, you can go home. Maybe get some sleep.
That voice is familiar to me as well.
How are you feeling? I know it's been a long night for you. You look like you could use some rest.
Am I being interrogated by the cops right now? Am I a cop
Nice.
being interrogated by the cops right now? I'm unsure how to
Look.
navigate this situation.
I know what you must be going
Because
through.
usually I have, you know, my usual advice of what to do when you're talking to the cops, but I also am a cop, so all of a sudden I'm like, how do I navigate this situation? And hi Faye, you didn't miss much. I literally just started the episode. Don't worry.
Really, I do. But I could use your cooperation.
Smoke. Yeah, don't talk to the cops, man. still feel
very
weird
helpful.
about it, but yeah.
Thank you.
Cop on cop violence. What are they questioning me about? Snow White? Yes, of course, Snow White. That's why they put her picture across the table. But what is she even asking me? I'm just gonna stay silent.
I'm Detective Brannigan. Do you hear that?
Oh, God, what is happening?
Please. Please.
Oh. Some good sound design as well.
I'm sorry. Just make it stop, please.
Oh. Oh. Girl? What just happened?
We have to go now.
What is happening?
What are you doing here?
You should be thanking me. It's just a memory wipe spell. Very expensive, but it works. The whole station will forget the last 24 hours and everything they saw at the Woodlands.
Right.
Yeah.
Are these like Mundy cops or whatever? Like I'm a magic cop and they're human cops or something. Cop on cop violence, cop hierarchies. Well, that's awkward. Yeah, it is a little bit. I remember not really liking this guy, but I don't remember why. I mean, look at him. You know, that tells me all I need to know. I'm gonna ignore him. Crane noticed your silence.
We found Tweedledee chained up to a post. That was your doing, correct?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why you detained him. Dee was at the trip trap when Snow was left at the Woodlands, so he couldn't possibly be involved in this mayhem. Bluebeard's currently interrogating him, and he hasn't said anything useful. And, Bigby, we have to tread carefully here. We can't implicate an innocent man, and people are already worried about your
I don't want to
as of
give
late.
him. I don't want to engage with him.
I mean, he hasn't appeared to know anything yet.
Yeah, I remember him being shitty too. I just don't remember why. So I'm choosing not to trust him in this situation.
I know what you think.
Thank God for the silence is a valid
It's
option.
been one full night and a slice of
Telltale
morning,
thing, huh?
and I already miss her too. You know, I never get more homesick than when one of us dies. And now, for it to be Snow, I've never been good with these sorts of things. I just can't believe this is really happening.
I'm just gonna stay silent. You ignored
Our
Crane.
stories used to be so simple. We had a beginning, a middle, and an end. But ever since we moved to this awful city, everything's gotten so confused.
Everything used to be so simple under feudalism. But now under capitalism,
Did she,
everything's so
give any
complicated.
indication to what she was thinking when you saw her last, I mean? I don't know why, but I'd like to know that she was, I guess, fine, I suppose.
She could come off as callous sometimes, but she wasn't really. She said that she wanted to change things, make it easier for Fables to get help when they need it.
Oh yeah, she had her white woman moment where she realized that people are poor.
I don't know what else to say, Bigby. We have to put an end to this. It's been 2 murders in as many days. If we don't unearth our culprit, and soon, There will likely be another on our doorstep tonight.
I'll get it done.
Please, Bigby. For Miss White.
I got it.
Yaucho. Right to an attorney, trivia. The Woodland Luxury Apartments.
That's not a very good answer.
Afternoon.
Come on, just tell me what I want to know. It will make things a lot less.
Oh my God, Dave Fennoy.
Theory.
Oh, were you planning on using that? I just thought you really liked rubbing your little sword.
That's Dave Fennoy. That's the fucking voice actor for Lee in The Walking Dead.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Hello, Ichabod. Sheriff.
That's so weird. I
was just chatting with our new friend.
You were supposed to wait for us to get back. I told you, if you want to be involved, you will do things my way. No violence.
Whatever you say, Ichabod.
I don't know if I like this.
Hello, Big B.
I want answers.
Lee's voice on Bluebeard, I mean.
I thought you wanted questions, and I was having so much trouble thinking of any good ones. Though I'd settled on, how's your head?
You see what I've been dealing with? What are you going to do about this, Bigby?
I'm glad you have a sense of humor. I hope that means you're willing to cooperate. Snow White is dead.
Look, I didn't kill anyone.
And I'm supposed to just believe you.
You were with me when it happened, dummy.
I still have questions for you, D.
Sounds like a personal problem.
This is ridiculous.
Let him work. He's got more experience with these kinds of things.
You know I saw you at Faith's apartment. What were you doing there?
Girl's got air conditioning. You can't imagine what it's like living in a little shithole with no air. Especially with this heat wave going on. Have to find some place to cool off.
Ah, fuck it. I'll hit him.
Alright, D. Let's get to know each other.
I'm a man. Oh, okay. What do we got here?
You know, I really like spending time with you, Bigby. You're so pleasant. You mind loosening those? I can barely feel my fingers.
Loosen straps or tighten straps? I'm just... I don't know. I feel like being a dickhead right now, so... I'm a cop. I'm just role-playing. I don't know what to tell you.
Just tell me what you were doing at Faith's apartment.
That's my excuse.
I can't tell you, and pushing me around isn't going to change that. My brother and I work hard, and we keep our mouths shut. That's the deal.
You got D talking.
I forgot about your brother.
That was easy.
Dumb, right? How appropriate.
Where was your brother last night?
Are you accusing him of something?
What do you think?
He didn't do it, if that's what you're getting at. He didn't kill her. You have no fucking right to keep me here. You have no evidence. Give me my stuff and let me go.
What did you find on her?
Oh, nothing of consequence, really.
I kind of wish Bluebeard's beard was actually blue. I feel like that's part of the point. But also, it's... Okay, so it's interesting because I've played a couple of other Telltale games now since playing The Walking Dead on stream, which are Batman and Batman the Enemy Within. And Dave Fennoy is also in those games playing Lucius Fox. For anyone who's familiar with the Batman lore, Lucius Fox is like he's the head of research and development at Wayne Enterprises, and he's like the black man who does everything that Batman tells him to do, but he's also like a tech genius, so they managed to just about act like it's not like kind of a weird racist trope. Because I mean, if Alfred were black, then you'd be like, well, that's pretty racist. But with Lucius Fox, I think they tried to do the whole, oh, but he's a genius. So, but I thought that Dave Fennoy being in that role is quite interesting because Lucius Fox is like, I guess he's like a intelligent, middle class black man in the same way that Lee Everett is. And in interviews, Dave Fennoy talks about kind of like playing that aspect of like Lee in The Walking Dead, and it's just interesting that they would cast him in that role in Batman as well. I mean, I don't want to make assumptions about that typecasting, but it does stand out because it's only twice. But it's interesting seeing him here because Bluebeard is, like, as far as I can tell, not a black man, but also he's a dodgy, like, landlord villain. Let me double check that. He managed to escape the homelands with his riches intact and continues to be one of the wealthiest fables in New York. The Fabletown government depends on his generous contributions, and he often uses this influence for his own benefit. As a former serial killer, he claims his days of decapitating his brides are over, but even if he was able to leave his violent ways in the homelands, that hasn't stopped him from making the occasional trip down Crooked Lane. I just think this is an interesting role to have a black actor in. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's come back to it. Okay. Whiskey, cash...
We should just be asking him questions.
This is how these sessions have to be conducted.
Show him the photo, I guess?
What's that you've got? I don't want to see that shit! Just put that away! Don't make me look at that!
Snow was murdered, Dee. She was... important to me. If you know who did this, you have to tell me.
I don't know what to tell you. You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't know who did it!
I'm a
Where's your brother,
cop
Dee?
who's got an aggressive side, but also a sensitive side, because I'm in love with a woman who's now been murdered, and now I'm feeling vengeful about it.
Seen him since I left to go find Faith's, since we ran into you. But he didn't kill anybody, so you leave him alone.
You don't call the shots here, Dee.
You went to find Faith's what?
Her fucking apartment. That's no secret. You saw me there.
Why?
No, there's more to it. You said you were trying to find something.
All right, Dee, since you never answered my first question, what did you want from Faith?
I'm not telling you shit. You make me fucking sick.
He's been...
God, cigars
I'm
are so
saving
big.
that.
Never had a cigar in my life, but I'm always astounded by
What's the point of this?
how big they are.
Look at this asshole.
What did you want from Faith?
I didn't want shit from that little thief. More trouble than she's worth.
I could say the same about you.
Oh yeah? Untie me and see how much trouble I am.
That's enough!
What did she steal? Must have been valuable.
I don't know. It was just some dumb thing my boss was after.
You got D talking.
Your
Okay.
boss.
So let's talk about your boss, then. Come on, Dee. It's clear you're just following orders. So who's calling the shots?
No, I'm fucking done.
You're not done till I'm done with you.
This is bullshit. Let me go.
You just carry this around?
It ain't illegal, is it?
Smash him or offer him a drink. I'm not gonna smash him.
I'm not sure this is really working.
No fucking way! You're out of your mind!
You weren't answering my questions. As long as you're being helpful, there's no need for violence.
Unbelievable.
I'm confused.
Couldn't hurt, I guess.
I'm confused about that dialogue. Is that just me, or was that dialogue, like, confusing?
Why don't you just tell me who you're working for?
Look, you're not a bad guy. I believe Beauty on that one. But I can't give you that information. That's where I gotta draw the line.
There's no way Beauty would associate with a scumbag like you.
What's wrong with me? You're telling me I ain't pretty enough? Yeah, we're real close.
I thought this was supposed to be a murder investigation, but you're treating this guy like a fucking house guest, Bluebeard! You were making progress before. What is this patty cake shit? Snow White is dead. One of us. And you're going to let this ignorant shit walk out of here in one piece. Out of my way.
I mean,
I'll
he's
show you how it's
been
done.
talking, so
What the fuck? What do you think
I
you're
don't know.
doing? Teaching him a lesson.
I mean, I gave him one round
Pay
punch and then
attention.
he kind of...
Stop this right now!
You enjoying yourself?
Immensely.
Like, I mean, you know, this isn't getting him talking right now, so I don't... Well, okay. I guess we're gonna fight now, because we're men, and that's what we do. Hello?
No.
What?
What's going on down here?
But you're dead.
Snow.
Whoa, 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 what the? Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Okay, okay. Okay, so... I don't really understand how that's possible, but what comes to mind is maybe some kind of shapeshifter situation? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's just because we played Life is Strange Double Exposure recently, but what comes to mind is maybe there's some kind of shapeshifting going on. Okay, episode 2, Smoke and Mirrors. Yeah, I don't know if I saw that coming either. I'm definitely... Well, they've got me interested, because I don't know what's going on.
What the hell was going on down there?
But I mean, Slay, I'm glad that this cunty
Using
queen
a
is
prisoner
alive.
like that. I thought you could control yourself.
I thought you were dead, Snow.
And that makes it okay? I hope it was worth your time.
I enjoy her not liking him and being mad at him and all of that. That's how it should
Okay,
be.
You're gonna have to explain.
Because
this.
I'm really
I'm
anti
not getting it yet.
this being a relationship.
After a conversation in the taxi last night, I got a call from Toad. He said his son found a body. We thought it was Faith at the time. Getting her back here wasn't easy. But hopefully we'll find something on her to help us track down the killer. Or at least to figure out who she is. If it's not Faith's body.
Okay. I didn't like a lot of those dialogue options, so I don't know.
Snow.
What is
I'm
it?
so confused. I'm glad you're alive.
I'm glad you're not dead.
Me too.
Yeah, but do you
I
have
just want to get to the
any
bottom.
insight on why we saw
just
your
feel like-
decapitated head?
What is it?
Because
I just...
we're acting pretty chill.
I feel responsible in a way. She looked just like me. And maybe that's why she was killed.
You know, I had been thinking that they look alike before, but...
Snow, it's not your fault.
But she looked just like me. That can't be a coincidence.
No, I think
We
you're
just
right.
have to find out who did this. And why she was glamored to look like me. I mean, that's what it is, right? So...
Right,
what's
glamours
our next
are a
move?
thing. So, I guess maybe I'm not super far off with the shape-shifting thing, in the sense that I guess I hadn't thought about how maybe you can... If a glamour is a spell that makes you look like a human, then you can make someone look like a specific human, but also does that spell work on humans to make them look like other humans, like not shape-shifting exactly, but like a kind of illusion spell or something? I don't know. I don't know what to say, really.
If we're going to work together on this, you need to actually talk to me.
I
I'm
mean,
just
what do you
listening.
expect
I'm
me to do?
just listening.
Sit around the business office twiddling my thumbs, waiting for the big bad wolf to solve all my problems?
Snow.
I told you, I'm tired of sitting around. I'm not going to be an errand girl for Crane anymore.
Yeah, fair.
I just want you to be careful. I almost lost you once.
I'm not yours to lose.
Yes, girl. No, she's a lesbian. I don't know who said that last time. Maybe it was me. Maybe I said that last time.
I know it's dangerous,
But I've
I'm
decided.
not helpless. I can take care of myself. I've been doing it for centuries. TJ is waiting inside. He was so freaked out last night. He wouldn't tell us
Oh.
much.
Was
Even now,
TJ
he
the
just
little
stops
baby
talking
frog?
altogether after a certain point.
He was very cute.
He's pretty shaken up though, so try not to be too...
Sorry, the baby toad. Wow, I can't believe I'm racist.
What?
Just be nice, okay?
I'm always nice.
Yeah, one of my things about this game so far is that okay, Fabletown Business Office, the Woodland Building, late afternoon. One of my things about this game is that there's a lot that I like about it. Like I like the aesthetic, the plot line is interesting to me, the lore is interesting to me, blah blah blah. But I don't particularly like. My impression at the moment is that I don't particularly like playing as Bigby Wolf, and there's something about like playing a game where you just can't really connect with the character that you're playing, or you don't really like the character that you're playing. That's sort of, I don't know, it does create a certain amount of disconnect. So it's hard for me to figure out how to like engage with the game, or how to act, or what to say, or how to roleplay, because I don't really like Bigby or playing as Bigby. So if I seem kind of weird or confused, then I think that's part of the reason why. I'm just thinking about how I'm like, oh, I don't really know what to say or how to behave in this situation. And yeah, it's a weird experience for me right now.
TJ's over there. I don't know if you want to talk to him first or after, but let me know when you're ready to see the body. I want to be there. Buffkin, do you have a second?
Of course, Miss Snow.
And I mean, I think that games where you play as characters that you don't like can work, but I guess it just has to be like a very specific story or narrative or something very specific that the game is trying to accomplish in order for it to work. I'm trying to think of examples where that's happened and I've liked it, but I don't know, I'll chew on it. I know what you mean. I had the same problem with Twin Mirror. Oh, interesting. Like, you didn't really like the character that you were playing as in Twin Mirror. Yeah. I've definitely had, I think I've probably had that with other games. Just because there are a lot of games where you play as as like some white guy that I don't really like, you know. But, probably a lot of those games I've like are not coming to my mind because I think a lot of them I've like dismissed and not really liked them more generally. And so, whereas with this, it's like there's a lot that I like about it, but then the big difficulty for me is not really liking this main character.
Oh, that's enough. Mirror, vanish, cancel!
What the hell are you doing?
What? I wasn't touching nothing.
What's going on?
Don't worry, no harm done.
What were you doing with the mirror, Toad?
I thought maybe I'd catch you on the shitter.
I forgot about how bad his accent is.
Here a long time.
TJ.
Oh, little baby TJ.
It's all right.
Oh.
Are you ready to talk to Mr. Wolf?
Oh, I love you, TJ. TJ is my son. Mine, not Bigby's. Bigby, stay the fuck away from TJ.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Go ahead, TJ.
I go swimming at night sometimes.
I
In the
forgot
river.
TJ was
I
Clementine.
wasn't doing anything bad. I promise.
Of course you weren't.
We know you're a good kid, TJ. You're okay.
You're not in trouble. Just tell me what happened.
I was there, under the big blocks, and I heard noisy feet. And when I hear that, I'm supposed to go underwater and stay real still and quiet.
That's right, son.
Then I saw the lady.
It's okay, son. Careful, Bigby.
I wasn't.
I know.
The lady.
Fair enough.
Fell
Fair
in.
enough, TJ.
But she didn't have her head on. I thought she was gonna pull me down too. Cause she had rocks on her feet and she kept falling down in the dark parts.
Jesus Christ.
Cinder blocks tied to her ankles.
Yeah.
Is there more, TJ?
Is it true? You know when people are lying? I heard you could do that. That's why you're the sheriff.
Yeah, it's my special power. I always know when people aren't telling me the truth. Is there something else you want to say?
Please, don't be mad.
What is it, TJ?
I didn't stay under the water.
What?
I know I'm supposed to, but I was scared, and I went to the top again. I couldn't help it.
I gave you very specific rules. You have to stay quiet and out of sight or bad things can happen. I told you.
You're not in trouble.
Like Ellie's not.
Shut up,
This
Toad.
time, Toad.
So you didn't stay underwater.
I don't know if anyone saw me, but someone said, stop laughing.
Someone has to give Melissa Hutchinson a reward for like voice acting little children specifically and making me be like, oh, poor baby.
And then I was scared, and I went under for as long as I could.
Wait, you heard someone?
Yes,
Why didn't you tell us before?
I didn't want to be in trouble.
Bigby. Thank you, TJ.
Okay, son. Let's get you home.
You did a good job, kid.
TJ will
Come on.
remember that. Yeah, she's just great at it. She's just really good at voice acting like a child. I don't know.
That went about as well as I expected. You want to go look at the body now?
I mean, in a minute. I need to look around.
In a minute.
When you're ready.
I need to look at all the stuffs now. It's kind of crazy that, like, at the end of the first episode, we thought she was fucking dead. And then they do this big reveal that she's not fucking dead. And then it kind of... The pacing is a bit strange in that regard because I'm like... They're just... I mean, everyone's just acting like... Bigby, anyway. I don't know how many people actually knew that she was found... Like, her head was found. But, it's just acting like nothing happened. Like, la la la, it's all chill. We're just, you know, gonna go back to normal. I don't know, I think I'd be a bit more shaken up by that.
Snow's perfume.
Leia Aloha. Okay, well, don't be weird about it. God, I forgot the dwarves looked like this in the painting. Looked at this before. I don't know if he'll have any other comments. I don't want to go through them all.
Antacids. Maybe this has been harder on him than I thought.
What, so he's a bit stressed and he's having a bit of indigestion? Boo fucking who.
Pity these can't solve murders.
No, but they can help. Let's see what we get.
Well,
Three of Swords? Come on, man. Three of Swords? Ugh, woof. Three of Swords is a tattoo design that people get loads. I think that's probably got to be one of the most like done. I don't know, I can't speak today. One of the most yeah, I don't know, one of the most commonly done tattoo designs that's like based on tarot. I feel like I see it everywhere.
hey, mirror.
Hello, Bigby. Nice to see you.
Okay, let's spy on some people. Or ask some questions.
You probably knew Snow was alive the whole time, didn't you?
Possibly so, but the moment has passed. You didn't rhyme, and you never asked. But as you know, I'm quite prolific, if you want me to show you someone specific.
Hey, I wanted to ask you more stuff. I guess I can't ask you more stuff. That was that. I will just snoop on some people then. Let's snoop on Tweedledum.
Where can I find Tweedledum? That piece of scum.
Oh, he's got his little cap on. He's in his car. He's got his little cap on. Looking suspicious.
The woodsman and I were fighting. Now I want to know where he's hiding.
God.
Well, that's helpful.
He's just sad and drunk, man. I'm not particularly suspicious of the woodsman. He's just a sad, drunk guy who gets kind of aggressive. And I mean, yeah, he's a bit of a dick, but I don't think he's implicated in some kind of like crazy conspiracy or anything. Okay, so that's that. Let's talk to Snow. And Buffkin! Buffkin! I forgot about Buffkin.
So, check out anyone who fits that profile. You might start with Bluebeard.
Right away, Miss Snow.
Are you ready to examine the body now?
In a minute.
In a minute.
When you're ready.
Sorry. I should have realized that was what that was gonna do. Okay. The fucking lamp, man. Okay, maybe that is everything. Let's go back to the cards, though. Oh, yeah, we can do three. Ooh, the moon.
Usually this is about deception or confusion. But for me, well, who knows?
Deception or confusion, I guess. But the moon is also, like, about... Okay. Deception or confusion. The moon is often about kind of, like, mystery and, illusion and the supernatural. So whatever's going on with these, like, these glamours and the mysterious murder slash decapitation, potentially people shape-shifting or using illusion spells to look like someone else, then that's definitely something going on there.
I hope you can find what you're looking for.
The Hermit. Okay. I don't feel like I don't remember as well what the Hermit usually signifies, because I feel like I don't get that card that often. Let me have a quick look in here just in case something has changed, but I didn't think it will have.
Beauty and Beast. Always putting on a show for each other. Seems like not much has changed between me and Woody. I meant what I said, Snow. I will get to the bottom of this.
This poor Faith.
Also, I'd like you to get me some information on this neighborhood watch program that the Mundys have.
I believe I already have some pamphlets on file.
You want to go look at the body now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I almost forgot.
Come on.
Witching Well Chamber. Okay. The Woodland Building. Okay. What is the Witching Well? Well, shit.
Wow. I didn't realize I've never seen her face before now.
You gonna be okay? You don't have to stay.
I want to stay. I'll be fine. It's just a little...
I didn't mean to be condescending about
Glamour
it.
is so
For God's sake,
effective, it's
Bigby.
invasive. But just do what you need to do.
Okay, why would someone do this? Because, why would you put a spell on the body to make it look like Snow was dead, but then obviously Snow, who is alive, is gonna show up?
Check her mouth. There might be a ribbon in there, like before. Anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
Can you close her mouth?
So potentially not connected to Faith's murder, at least directly, because there isn't the same ribbon calling card. Well, also, I'm wondering how glamours work. Like, do they last a certain period of time? Can you undo the glamour? Because surely there's a way for us to break the spell so we can see who this really is.
That's weird. I don't wear a brooch like that.
Maybe it really belonged to her. Not part of the glamour.
Looks like something from the homelands. Buffkin, do you recognize these symbols?
No, nothing I've seen before.
Looks just like Faith's did.
But there was nothing in her mouth this time. Do you think it was done by the same person?
Hard to tell. Did Dr. Swinehart ever get back to you about Faith?
No. He said he wanted to run more tests.
Dr. Swinehart, what a name. Okay, so the main thing that isn't the same is the ribbon in the mouth. Anything else?
She got your perfume right.
How would she know? How do you know what perfume I
Yeah,
wear?
you fucking creep.
Can't fool this nose. Also, I saw the bottle on your desk.
Do you see that?
Could be a bruise.
Okay. Okay, bruise on her neck and what a
Track marks.
She used Mundy drugs?
Oh.
Looks that way. Pretty heavily, too. I hear they only go for the legs if they've used up the veins in their arms, or if they're trying to hide the marks. Anyway, it means it's not a perfect match to your leg, unless...
Don't be ridiculous.
Maybe she was trying to compensate with that perfume.
Wait. If the glamour is supposed to make her look like me, shouldn't it be concealing things like track marks? That brooch, too. Why would it change everything else? I've never seen one this sloppy.
It's possible it's designed not to.
Designed not to hide track marks?
Good point.
The witches upstairs know what they're doing. That's why they cost so much.
Well, I don't know if
Unless
that's why they
someone is making glamours
cost so
illegal.
much.
It's not technically illegal, miss. It's not encouraged for sure, but there aren't any laws specifically forbidding it.
Oh my god.
So there's some sort
Black
of
market glamours.
One would assume so.
It's crazy.
I imagine anyone with access to the proper books and training could theoretically produce a glamour.
Yet another thing to worry about. Black market or not, it's a pretty good match. Look at that. The buttons aren't exact either. There's an extra one here.
Okay, interesting. Let's look at the rope marks first.
Rope marks.
She was tied up?
They tied cinder blocks to her ankles, so she would sink.
Oh.
You're right. These buttons are wrong. I wonder...
What?
Snow, do you mind if I, open her coat?
Bigby, just let me do it.
This must be so weird for her. I can't even, like, imagine how weird that would be, you know?
You still okay?
Sorry, that took longer than expected. What have you found out? Well?
I haven't finished yet.
Well, get on with it then. We can't waste too much time here. The killer might be preparing another attack as we speak.
We should keep going.
Okay. Feel very uncomfortable about seeing her underwear, but let's get it over with.
Are you wearing silk lingerie, Snow?
Why do you want to know?
I'm just trying to see if the clothes are exact.
They're not.
Yeah, there's a better way of asking that. Fucking weirdo. And also, like, do we have enough information
What is that?
the clothes aren't
She
exact?
had the perfume with
You don't even need to
Looks
ask
like
that.
Someone picked it out for her.
So, someone gave her instructions.
Okay. Curious.
I've seen things like this before. It's definitely magic, though witches don't usually craft objects these days.
I don't think it's wise to fool around with that. It's some kind of black market magic. Who knows what it could do? We should have it looked at. Just to make sure it isn't dangerous. Don't you think?
You may be right. One way to find out.
What?
There's something in here.
How do we open it?
I think I can figure it out. Something to do with these rings here.
Oh, puzzle. Okay. Oh. Okay, one of these guys. Let's go. Nice.
A deer. What does that mean? Oh.
Okay, great. I guess like a lock of hair is usually implicated in like a magic spell, isn't it? Like you need like someone's, like a lock of someone's hair or something. I don't know.
Is that...
Your hair? Yeah. Fucking weird.
It's your hair.
Why are you sniffing it like that? I know you're like a magic wolf, but it's still creeping me out.
Someone must have taken this from my apartment.
Oh, God.
I noticed it was missing, but I didn't.
This is some creepy
this
shit.
This is the last picture I had of Rose and me. My sister and I don't talk much anymore. Who did this, Bigby?
She's a troll?
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, she's a troll. Can we move on?
Who is she?
Yeah, guys, don't be fucking racist.
That wasn't there before.
Oh.
Who do you
She's
think
got a nice
she is?
tattoo.
I don't know many trolls, I'm afraid.
Should have left them all back in the homelands.
You don't mean that, do you?
Racist?
Maybe Holly knows.
Okay.
The owner of the Trip Trap? No, she looks a little...
Now I'm being racist by saying that all
It's not
trolls know
Holly,
each other.
it's her sister Lily. She was reported missing, but I guess it just slipped through the cracks.
We have to
Just slipped through the cracks?
Right. Who knows? She might know
Okay,
something
there's
about this.
some
Who
stuff to
will
unpack
see?
there.
Certainly another troll.
This guy's just straight up being racist now. Okay.
We should go.
You can't go out there.
Why not?
It's too dangerous. Someone tried to kill you. Bigby, you can't let her go out there with you.
If Snow wants to come with me, I'm not gonna stop her.
But
we should leave now. You ready?
You let Snow come with you. It's up to her, man. Can you guys stop being such men about this? I think this is part of what's like frustrating me about everything that's going on. It's just too many men.
This whole thing is complete bullshit, and always has been. I mean, what's his job, really?
To keep shit from reaching the woodlands. Jack, I don't know where they are.
You're a bar. You're supposed to have darts around.
And I normally do, but who knows where the fuck they went to after...
Okay, don't litter in her bar. Come on.
Come on, Holly. I need entertainment. This'll do.
Okay, I know. Just relax. I'm not here to start anything.
Okay.
Miss White, I heard you had kind of a strange morning.
Who's this fucking
It's been kind of a strange morning for everyone. I think.
California surfer bro?
Every time I see this guy, he seems to lose weight. It's amazing. It really is. He loses weight and yet somehow keeps all the muscle.
Okay, stop.
Sophie, my dear, how are you?
Please stop talking about his weight like that.
Because, you know, we were just talking about you. All of us. At the bar, here. About you.
I just need to talk to Holly. Privately.
Alright, just give us a second first. I'm dying to hear about the body that came out of the East River this morning. It was a fable, right? Oh, everyone knows.
Tweedledee was just here.
You said it looked like Snow White.
You sure it wasn't Tweedledum?
Well, no, but he seemed pretty sure.
Sorry.
Tweedledee said you arrested him for no earthly reason. Kept him locked in the cellar all fucking night.
God, everyone's
He said
bad
he tortured
English accents
Which,
are really...
I don't know, that seems like a
really
breach of
something.
legislative duties. Bigby, come on. You can't be so dumb as
Jack,
to...
find the off button, now!
What is it with you two? You and Gran are all, let's get a posse together when there's no one around, but as soon as the big bad wolf walks in, your tails go between your legs. Cat got your nerve? What happened?
What happened? I'm tired is what happened.
Tired of what?
Of trouble, Jack. I'm sick and tired of trouble. I don't want any more. So just stop revving his motor, or wait outside, or fuck the hell off. I don't care which.
Bigby, look. 2 Fables are dead. And shit, Gren's sister...
Holly's sister.
Holly's sister has been missing for what? A few days now? And we haven't heard word one about it from anyone.
Yeah, fair enough.
Actually, have there been any updates?
I don't know how to say this to you, Holly. The woman we found in the river.
Who was it?
You know who it was.
Oucho.
Boy, I sure walked into that one.
If you say one more fucking thing, just
Yeah,
one
what an
more
insensitive
thing.
comment to make, Jack. Holy shit.
God fucking damn it. Of course, the dear princess, Snow fucking White, is all safe and sound. Where were you when we reported this weeks ago, huh? Where are you when we ever fucking need you?
Okay, well, there's a certain amount of stuff about cops going on, which is, you know, that we've got a narrative where, like, disenfranchised or oppressed people who generally are, like, non-humans that are forced to pay money for glamours and are kind of being driven deeper into poverty because they have to, like, pay money for these increasingly expensive glamours in order to, like, exist in the world, and they're not allowed to exist in the world just, like, looking as themselves as non-humans. And there's, like, yeah, there's a lot going on there. But then, you know, there's the fact that they're saying that their people are more likely to go missing, probably get murdered, and the police doesn't care, or the police isn't doing anything about it, and that possibly there's a double standard, that, you know, someone like Snow White is killed, or they think she's killed, and they put time and energy and resources into that because she's someone who's, like, more privileged. She's, like, a human fable, and she's, like, part of the institution, and she's, you know, like, a white woman, blah blah blah. And this is, like, clearly a parallel to real life. But the way that this kind of thing often appears in propaganda, as it is now, is interesting because it's often, like, it doesn't necessarily frame policing as an institution as the problem. It's saying that policing helps some people and it doesn't help others, so the solution is that the police need to actually care about, like, missing and murdered people of color, and particularly women of color, which is what this is kind of analogous to. The police need to care more about that and investigate that more and put more resources into that, etc. And that is not the solution there, because it completely erases the fact that policing as an institution exists to do harm to marginalized people, to perpetuate that harm to marginalized people, and it exists to protect, like, the ruling classes. So that double standard is always going to exist because the police don't exist to protect us, and the goal here is not to try to, you know, cling on to this false idea that we can have, like, a better policing where the police will protect marginalized people, because that's just a fundamental misunderstanding of why what is happening and what the solution to that problem is. So I just want to raise that because this is clearly a theme, and we'll see where it goes, but it's definitely got, like, a propaganda vibe to it, so...
If you'd give 1 ounce of a shit about her, about any of us, she might have been saved. She might have been cared for. She might have been...
I'm sorry, Holly. I'm sorry we found your sister this way, and I wish this had ended up better.
Poor Holly. Yeah, fair enough, girl.
Holly.
Get the fuck out of my bar.
I just want
It should have been you. It should have been you, and it wasn't.
We recovered this from her personal effects. I thought you might like to have it.
I didn't know she still had this. The copper was from a dwarf mine. It's very rare and very old.
It's quite lovely.
Gren,
Yeah?
take off for a bit, would you?
Are you sure?
It's just I like the women and I hate the men, and there's so many men doing so much bullshit, and I have to play one of these men, and it's really somewhat impacting my enjoyment of this.
About her life. Honestly, we didn't talk often. She was lost here in the city. She just got swept away by it.
Did she have any friends? Anyone who could tell us what she might have been doing? Why she'd be a target?
I don't know about her friends. She hung around where she worked, mostly. She was hooking to pay down debt.
Okay.
It ate me up to see her that way. Eventually, the only people she owed were at her work. You know, that shithole club, the pudding and
Okay,
pie.
so we have another sex worker murdered.
Fiona Georgie with all his fucking fees. It's a crock of shit. That's how they kept her under their thumb, really.
I also briefly want to make a comment on the fact that I mean, in general, I kind of, like, hate it when it's, like, there's a fantasy story and there's, like, a fantasy race which is oppressed, and it's, like, an allegory for racism, because it's usually a race allegory as opposed to, like, any other allegory. Sometimes it might have elements of kind of other marginalizations or whatever, but it's usually a race allegory because, you know, their axis of oppression operates in the same way as race, or most closely to race, and it's usually the language of race that's being used as well, because we're literally talking about, like, different races, whether that's, like, sci-fi alien races or, like, fantasy races like elves or dwarves or whatever. And then those characters that are experiencing racial oppression, like, are played by white people, or they look like white people. There's just, I don't, like, love it, but I think that in this regard it's interesting because of the glamour thing, because there's a certain politics of, like, there's a few kind of messy, which is fine, but for now, we'll come back to it. There's a few messy things going on here, like a thing about passing, a thing about cosmetic surgery, a thing, you know, there's some stuff potentially going on there, which doesn't, like, fit exactly as a one-to-one metaphor or allegory, which is fine because it rarely does fit, like, one-to-one in media, but it certainly adds, like, another dimension to it, that the glamour thing, But I just wanted to say that because I was like looking at Holly and thinking about how I was looking at a white woman, but it's like a person who's experiencing like a kind of racial oppression because of how she actually looks, because of how that's an illusion, like what I'm looking at right now. Anyway, yeah, that's just playing on my mind. But also, sex workers are being targeted, so we're probably going to come back to that as a topic or as a theme. I know I talked about that a lot in the first episode, though. And I guess that does kind of make me raise my eyebrows a bit more at the idea that Faith's pimp was one of the suspects, so...
Holly, it's okay. If it's too much, we don't have to do this.
Pudding and pie, huh? What do you know about the place?
It's a real garbage dump.
We can just go check it out. We've got a lead. Maybe we can take it from here.
Lily.
Thanks for everything, Holly. Is there anything we can do to...
No, I'm better off dealing with things alone. I don't need sympathy and I don't need charity.
It's not charity. It's looking out for our own.
Is she? Where is she?
She's at the business office. She's taken care of.
I'm gonna have to go down there and get her. Fuck.
Please, we can handle the funeral arrangements.
No, it's a kind of... It's a formality with trolls. We burn our dead by sunrise, or... I don't know. Some old world shit will fuck your soul.
Of course you can. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Good.
Let's go down to the business office and start making the necessary preparations, alright?
If Crane starts being a dick about it, I'm gonna punch his teeth out.
That club?
I'll go down there now. See what I can find out from the owner.
You were good with her. I'm impressed.
She's like, oh my god, she's like, oh my god, I'm impressed because you're such a piece of shit usually, but what Snow White doesn't know is that behind the controller, a lesbian is controlling him.
Thanks. It just made everything easier.
I do love these scenes with this, like, hazy neon lighting. I think it's great. Okay, the pudding and pie. The Bronx. Evening.
Oh, Sheriff, what a nice surprise. I'm not sure I've seen you here before. You're always welcome, of course.
I'm just gonna check something real quick. In the settings. Okay, never mind. I'm hoping that if there is any spicy NSFW stuff that it will be brief or something I can skip over or something that's not going to get me in trouble with Twitch, but we'll see. I know that people have streamed this game on Twitch before, so fingers crossed.
Is it business or pleasure? Or both?
I'm a friend of Georgie's. Where is he?
A friend? You're in luck. He's here. Come on. I should warn you that Georgie does not like to be bothered when he's working. And he's in kind of a mood right now. I mean, more so than usual.
Is he, alone in there?
He's working with one of the dancers, but don't worry about that. Discretion is our guarantee.
Okay, I feel like I'm walking into a trap right now, but we'll see, I guess.
Welcome to the Pudding and Pie, where we cater to the diverse tastes of the Fable community. Your pleasure is our pleasure. Your desires are our desires. Your imagination is the menu, and discretion is our guarantee.
Did you know Lily? She worked here?
My lips are sealed. You'd better ask Georgie.
Oh, yeah, we got titties. Okay, guys, I'm somewhat concerned about Twitch's terms of service, so I'm just gonna take a second to Google this, because I know people have streamed this game before. It's literally like a... Oh, shit. Dropped my controller, doing great. Let's have a look. Okay, The Wolf Among Us, Twitch. Okay. So... if the game is not on the banned games list, and you aren't playing modded nudity, and it isn't the focus of the gameplay, then you should be good. And it's not on the list of prohibited games, which I'm looking at now, and there's definitely some concerning titles on here. Yeah, some really concerning titles on here. Including all of the Honey Pop games, which is... sure is something. Okay, we're good. I streamed Cyberpunk 2077 and it was fine. Okay. Cool. Okay, we're all good. We're all good, guys. Everything's fine. False alarm.
What do you think you're doing? You look like you're trying to take a shit. Who's gonna want that? No one's gonna want that. You fucking dozy bitch.
Nice guy. Seems like a real prince.
You do have a sense of humor. That's good. Good lad.
It's your face. Oh, it's you. We're closed. Keep dancing, you. I didn't say stop. For fuck's sake. You, stay right there. Don't even think about sitting down. We're not finished.
You, Georgie.
Brilliant deduction, Sheriff. What do you want then? You here for a little taste? Tell you what, come back after midnight maybe. I can hook you up. Or, knowing you, this is probably not quite your style. You'd prefer someone who can take a bit of a beating. Tell me, do you prefer a stationary target?
Oh,
or
Jesus
one that will put up a
fucking
fight?
Christ.
I can arrange whatever you like, for the right price.
I'm not here for that.
Oh, I'm not here for that. You just stopped in for the chips then? Jesus, Bigby, you're so corny. I love it though. No, seriously, I love it.
I'm sorry, the English accents and then the lines that they're giving the people to deliver in the English accents is so funny to me. You're so corny, Bigby. I love it.
Okay, alright, Sheriff. Just fucking with you. Look, I know why you're here.
Are you sure?
Listen, Sheriff. Around here, we can't afford to wait for you and your swanky pals to take an interest. We have to look out for each other. When shit happens, I hear about it. Especially if it concerns my livelihood.
In that case, I assume you knew Lily was glamored.
Of course she was, you daft git. She was a troll.
No, I mean glamored to look like another fable.
Yeah? Well, so what? Who gives a toss? People get up to all kinds of things when nobody's watching. It's their own business.
I think you're behind this. You got her a black market glamour as part of some twisted sex fantasy.
Ooh, black market is it? How exciting. This is exactly what I would expect from a thug like you. Storm in, throw around a bunch of accusations, try to scare people. But you've got fuck all to back it up.
I mean, he's not wrong about Bigby, but also
and we're all
he's
just meant
not
to jump anytime the wolf shows his
much
teeth.
better.
He used to be something, you know. Now look at him. Get that out of my face.
This was part of the glamour we found on Lily's body. Take a good look. She was impersonating Snow White. Why?
You've got this all wrong. If Lily was doing a special glamour, it wasn't for me. For fuck's sake, I want that kind of eat.
Who was she doing it for, then?
She had clients, Bigby. Maybe one of them was into it. A lot of fucked up people in Fabletown.
Like who?
Try looking in the mirror.
Fair enough.
Anyway, now what to do with me?
Like, he fucking sucks, but he's not exactly wrong about Bigby, so...
Go on, then.
Oh, God.
You gonna hit me? Go ahead. That's what you want to do, right? That's what you came here for, right? That's what you like.
Tell me what I want to know, or I'll shut this whole place down.
Oh, no!
What was that?
You! Take your sad fucking face where I can't see it! Bloody bastard fucking shit! You proud of yourself, mate? Proud of your little mess?
Sorry, the little animation for him tripping up was really something.
Fuck off, Hans.
Is that...
Hold on a minute. Hans?
Hans, as in...
Hans just cleans up and provides a little muscle when we need it. He's not gonna know anything about the girls and their clients or any of that. No one knows. Don't you get it? It's by design. Discretion is our guarantee, right? And the way we guarantee that is that no one knows anything they don't have to know, including me. I cover my eyes and take my cut. End of story.
Why not look it up?
What's that?
Isn't there a little book with all the stuff about the girls and all that written in
You're
it?
a fucking moron.
Show me.
There is no book. And as for you, Hans, we need to work on
Is that
your
cricket bat?
communication skills and have a fairly good idea where to start.
Because he's British.
Hey, that's my personal property. Sure, go ahead. Do what comes naturally.
Fuck that boombox. Wow. I've never, you know, I've played so many games where I see someone smashing something with a baseball bat, but never with a cricket bat.
Oh no! You unbelievable prick! Hey now!
Cut the crap, Georgie. I want the book Hans is talking about.
Hans is confused. Again.
I could break more with my cricket bat.
Don't even think about it. Jesus fuck! Do not touch that. You hear me? That's nothing to do with you.
There's still time for you to just cough it up.
I'm sorry, Sheriff, but there's no handy magic book with everything you want to know jotted down inside. I sincerely wish there was.
Well, I can
Maybe we get
break
you off me
more,
back.
you know.
Well, what's this? Looks like a floor safe.
I wouldn't know. It was here when we moved in. I don't have a key to it.
Real convincing,
Sheriff,
buddy.
will you come on? Fuck's sake, I've got to open up in a few hours.
Ah, fuck it.
Oh, was it good for you, Sheriff? Next time, I'm gonna have to charge you. Jesus, you're killing me. I'm begging you. I'll pay you. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on, Nate. Leave it. There's nothing there for you.
You might want to stand back.
All right, all right, all right.
Okay, there we go. Come on, I was trying not to, you know, take the piss, but you were making it hard. And also, you're kind of a complete and utter cunt, so I don't feel
Woody,
too
come
bad
on,
about
then.
it.
Fucking trash my business over this bullshit. Protector of Fabletown, my ass. What a load of crap. Once again, don't get your hopes up. There's nothing in here that'll tell you anything. But it's a kick to the balls for me and my club, so we can be happy about that.
Here, this is Lily's last entry. So tell me, Georgie, who's this Mr. Smith?
Oh dear. I'm afraid it might be a fake name, Bigby.
Oh, wait, so do some of the sex workers use glamours not only to impersonate humans for their jobs and also in general in life because they have to, but to impersonate people that their clients want them to impersonate for sex, because that's... I don't like that.
Chris, here's sort of how this all works. Even Ants knows that.
Not blaming the sex
What's
workers for
207?
it, but...
Room number?
I don't fucking know. Millimeters, maybe?
Don't bullshit me, Georgie. This is your book. Your girls.
I'm not their fucking secretary. I give them a stage. I give them music. I provide an erotic venue to attract and retain clients. But let's be clear on something. The girls make the arrangements with their clients, not me. The girls. They're the ones with the Mr. Smiths and Joneses and Mr. X types. Whatever happens outside the club, that's on them. I log the business, take my cut, and I'm out.
You take your cut
Now,
for fucking what?
I've had quite enough of you and your bullying.
Exploitative
Excuse
piece
me
of
while I
shit.
call your superiors to make a complaint. Hello? Business office?
Georgie?
What do his fingers say? Pie? Kind of surprised he's just letting him make that call. Oh, fuck it. Feeling chaotic. Let's take the money. I'm just gonna steal from him. Fuck it. La la la.
I want to talk to the deputy.
I'm sure that nothing could possibly go wrong with that. Okay.
I don't give a rat's ass about that. Just fuck off and fetch him for me, alright?
Yeah, I mean, fuck him is right. Who fucking cares? And it's not like money, it's like money that he was stashing for himself, not money that was gonna go to actual sex workers for their labor.
Fine, I'll hold.
Lipstick, lip gloss, compact, glitter.
Yes, thank you for that, Bigby.
Faith, thanks for covering for me tonight. Let's talk before you go over to the apartment. Lily. Looks like they both saw one of Lily's clients.
Okay. Mr. Smith.
truck's been busted open. Broken open, but there isn't even a lock. Excuse me.
I heard you out there. I don't remember ever seeing you here before.
I didn't have a reason to come here before.
Yeah.
Oh god. Is she gonna get murdered too? I really hope not.
You're trying to place me. They used to call me the Little Mermaid.
Oh, hey.
Once upon a time. Does that help?
What do they call you now?
Whatever makes them happy.
Woof.
My name is Nerissa.
Well, Nerissa, I've got some questions.
Of course you do. I don't have answers. You'll have to find those yourself.
I need to know about one of Lily's clients. Calling himself Mr. Smith, apparently.
We can't talk about work.
This is a murder case.
I mean can't. These lips are sealed. Discretion is our guarantee. It's how things work here. By design.
People keep using those phrases. What does it mean? This is what I need to know about. Lily's last entry. Who's Mr. Smith? Where's room 207? I have to know.
Okay, calm the fuck down, Bigby.
These lips.
I mean, this is a moment that kind of goes to show as well that, like, often in a game like this, it's like, okay, how do you decide whether or not you like a character when you are playing as the character? And often these sorts of moments where that are not player controlled, where the character is just, like, acting the way that they would act of their own accord, as is written in the game anyway, as they're written, is when that becomes obvious. And I'm just pointing out that he's a huge dickhead. That's all. In exactly the way that you would expect, like, a cop to be, though, so.
Would you like to make an appointment with me?
Okay. What would I need to do?
I need 150. It's not good to be short.
I've got it.
Wait here for a second.
I'm really worried about her now. Let me do a quick look in the Book of Fables. Okay. Let me finish the scene and then I'll read through some of these.
Not 207?
You'll think of something.
The open arms. This is where they met.
Enjoy your stay. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Suspicious. It's interesting because I was thinking a lot in that scene as well about how like so I think that I was kind of saying earlier, and I think a lot of people also agree that like the aesthetics of this game, which I think a lot of people like, are those like 80s noir aesthetics with the kind of neon pink and purple lighting. And in the club scene, I was just thinking about how much that aesthetic is connected to kind of the club and to sex work, which, I don't know, just food for thought. It's an interesting one because I'm thinking now about how like often when you get those kind of 80s aesthetics in 80s sci-fi or 80s noir, it is connected to sex work. Like it's connected to like neon lights and neon signs in kind of a district with lots of you know, like sex shops and things like that. You know, like a cyberpunk aesthetic, a Blade Runner aesthetic, and I don't know, just food for thought. I'm just thinking about kind of like the connection between those aesthetics and sex work now, which I don't know how much I thought about that before, but food for thought.
Yeah, shit'll kill ya.
And I think I'm just having a persistent sense of discomfort at how much like sex work and sex workers are a big focus of this, but I'm playing some white dude who's a cop who's sucks in all of the ways that I talked about a lot in the last stream.
They should probably repair that.
And it's not like a particularly new or unique discomfort.
They should cut their rates.
I guess it's just a familiar one and a trope that I'm a bit sick of.
Want it by the hour or for the whole
Oh,
month?
hey, Melissa.
You.
I work here, okay? I work the front desk. It's to help pay rent. So, now you know. I know I should have told somebody, but Beast would lose his mind if you knew.
No, that's fine.
Beast is a proud man, Bigby. He wants to do right by me, and he just couldn't handle it if he knew I had to do this so we don't get evicted. All of our friends live at the Woodlands. He'd be mortified.
Well, your secret's safe with me, all right? Let's not make a big thing of it.
Thanks, Bigby. And thanks for covering for me last time, too. So, what are you doing
Anything
here?
for you, Melissa.
Oh, you have a key.
Someone else was murdered last night.
I heard.
The victim was someone who worked at the Pudding and Pie, Lily. She, come around here ever?
Oh, yes, the troll. I did see her.
Okay,
I mean,
Melissa.
You know, we never really spoke.
I mean, Beauty.
She came off a tad intimidating.
No need to be racist.
Ever see Lily with someone here? Maybe on a job.
Sometimes, but nobody I've recognized. I haven't worked here that long, though.
How about a room register? Or someone named Mr. Smith?
That's all we get here, Smiths, Jones, or Johnsons. I think the last ones are jokes.
Ah, very bad joke. Hate it.
Ever meet a girl named Faith? Or just maybe hear that name?
I might have. I don't know. By the end of the night, it's kind of a blur with all the names. Tara, Brandy, Amber, Heather. Sorry.
Have you seen Snow White down here? Or maybe somebody glamored as her?
You know, it's funny. I did see someone who I thought looked a lot like her, but she didn't say anything when she saw me, even though she knew that I saw her. I just assumed it wasn't Snow and went about my business.
Yeah, well, you were correct.
I talked to Tweedledee earlier today. He mentioned you in passing. Do you know him, or his brother?
I took out a loan for back pay. It was like our third notice. And ever since then, those annoying freaks have been pestering me for the money, plus
Oh my god,
interest.
oh my god.
Why take out a loan from those two?
Not them being
It was
loan
from
sharks.
the crooked man.
Beauty.
You don't know how desperate I was, Bigby. I had nowhere else to go.
Look, if this ever happens again, come see me or Snow first, alright?
This is quite interesting because this is the second instance where, like, one of the fables that is a human fable that's from an upper class background, like an aristocratic background. So initially it was Prince Lawrence, right, and Faith, and they were a couple. Obviously he was a prince and she was a princess, but escaped her horrible father and married him. And then after the Exodus, they are experiencing poverty, and she starts doing sex work in secret to pay the bills. And I'm trying to remember if she did it in secret or not, but I think, and then blah blah blah. It's almost the same thing here, because it's the second instance where it's like a couple who like lived happily ever after, quote unquote, in the story, but then after the Exodus they kind of lose their class status, I guess, that they had in the homeland or woodland or whatever the place they're from is called, and are experiencing poverty to the point that they're having to turn to loan sharks, or that she's, you know, Beauty is like, she's not doing sex work, but she's, you know, working in a brothel essentially, and it's just it's interesting. And then also she's keeping it a secret from Beast, and there's a lot going on with those patterns, both in terms of like how the class status and wealth of these fables that they had in the other universe is something that they have lost or changed, and there's something to do with kind of like the changing social structure, I guess, because a lot of those fairy tales are based from times where in Europe there was a feudal system, and they're based on like feudalism, right? You have like kings and lords and knights, and, you know, lords and vassals, and of course like serfs and serfdom, and you know, that kind of particular system of land ownership and power, the feudal system. You know, whereas that's not a thing that exists in modern day New York, where the system is capitalism, which is a particular kind of class system. I mean, feudalism is also a class system, but a very different one, and not one where there's an awful lot of social mobility or fluidity, the way that there can be under capitalism. Like, you can lose everything at a moment's notice, but equally you can become rich sometimes through, although, you know, the meritocracy idea of capitalism is somewhat of a myth, there is a certain degree of social mobility that you didn't have under feudalism. Anyway, this is, yeah, that's a really interesting aspect, but then also the two heterosexual relationships where the woman is, you know, kind of trying to pay the bills by doing sex work or doing something adjacent to sex work, and keeping that a secret from her husband, presumably because of some kind of like male pride, because like, you know, in the, I guess like in the world that they lived in before, and the social dynamics and the class dynamics that they existed in before, there's obviously like a very particular patriarchal dynamic where these princes, because all of them are princes, never had to like work because they're princes, so they had this inherited wealth, but then also because they're like men and husbands, like the idea of being supported by their wives is something that is like something potentially shameful to them. So that's potentially why the wives are like keeping it a secret in the case of Beauty and in the case of Faith. Which is just, yeah, it's just really interesting. There's stuff going on, there's interesting stuff going on there. And again, it's like capitalism is a patriarchal society, but in a very different way to the way that feudalism was. So, and obviously like on the way that women's work is organized and the ability for women to work under capitalism is different to the way that it was under feudalism. So none of this is to strictly say that, you know, capitalism is more, it's definitely not saying that capitalism is more progressive than feudalism. Both are class societies, both are patriarchal societies, but in very different ways. And there's just some really interesting stuff going on there in both of those examples. The Little Princess was a mermaid too. Yes, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if she is in the original Hans Christian Andersen version, which I might go and reread, because I do actually have a copy, like a big, like physical copy of collected Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales, so I might go back and reread that. Because obviously I know in the movie she's like a princess underwater, and then Prince Eric is a prince over land. But I'm trying. I don't know if she's a princess in the original story. I'd have to check that. But yes, interesting. So there's something potentially going on there with Nerissa. No mention of her prince though. Yeah. No, just an interesting pattern is happening.
I tried.
Oh, stop littering.
Thanks.
Wait. It'll be better if anyone sees you that they at least see you with me, so they know that I didn't let you just wander around by yourself. 5 minutes, please.
We'll see, Beauty.
Just be ready to act like I'm trying to kick you out.
That won't be hard.
Listen.
Okay, before that goes down, let's check the Book of Fables. It looks like I missed one, but that's fine. This man keeps smoking indoors and littering. Yeah, I mean, it's the 80s, so it's fine. I think that it's like, smoking indoors is one thing, but usually there's like an ashtray or something somewhere for you to dispose of your cigarette. Do not, just don't litter. If you're gonna smoke indoors, which was totally common and a thing in the 80s, at least don't stub your cigarette out on the floor. Okay, interesting. Bluebeard's Mercy, Bluebeard's last wife. After a long line of marriages resulting in mysterious disappearances, Bluebeard's last wife in the homelands was naturally suspicious of him. One day he departed on business, leaving her alone in his estate. He gave her free rein of all the rooms, but made her promise not to open the closet on the ground floor. She defied him, of course, and discovered the location of his missing wives. When Bluebeard returned, he knew he must kill her before she revealed his murderous secret. She persuaded him to allow her a moment to pray, which he reluctantly granted. This small mercy gave her brothers time to arrive and rescue her, and Bluebeard's crimes were exposed. 13th floor, the witches and wizards of... The 13th floor of the Woodland building is home to a group of witches and wizards tasked with the protection of Fabletown. They use their powers to keep the community hidden from prying Mundy eyes, but all magic has its limits, and every spell has its cost. The Magic Mirror. The Magic Mirror speaks mostly in rhyme and demands that others do the same. He also requires the name of whatever object or person you wish to find. If you follow these rules, the mirror will show you a glimpse of whatever you want to see, but nothing more. The Witching Well. The Witching Well is located in a chamber inside the Woodland building, where it is used to dispose of things meant never to be seen again. Dead fables are committed to its depths, as are the most unredeemable criminals. Oh, great. So it's a prison and a graveyard. That's really something. No one is entirely sure what lies at the bottom of the well, nor indeed if it has a bottom at all, but it is widely assumed to be the passageway to the final resting place. Oh, that really creeps me out. Jack Horner, harmless trickster. Jack is always up to something, but he's not nearly as smart as he thinks he is. His plans to get rich quick often backfire, but his confidence never wavers. I was wondering if this was Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. I think that this is Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. He thinks he's the most important person in Fabletown, but everyone knows him as a mostly harmless smartass. Lily, estranged sister. Lily and her sister Holly grew up in the homelands together, but had a falling out shortly after moving into the mundane world. Aimless and increasingly destitute, Lily turned to prostitution, and now she's the second victim in an ongoing murder investigation. Troll Cross, Lily's brooch. A troll cross is an amulet made of iron that was foolishly thought to protect the wearer from trolls. Lily acquired hers while wandering through the wilderness searching for something to eat. She came across a human, but before she could devour him, he held the troll cross out and shouted, "Back! Back, you troll!" After enjoying her tasty snack, Lily plucked the cross from the dead man's hands. After the exodus, she wore the troll cross constantly as a reminder of better days. It's, something that's interesting as well that should be said about, like, fantasy racism and fantasy race allegories is that in the fantasy universes, there is racial discrimination and even structural racial oppression of certain groups, certain fantasy races, certain science fiction races. But at the same time, in these universes, the logic of race science holds, which is that each race is genetically very distinct from each other, which is not the case in real life. And each race has a series of fixed characteristics that are a quality of their race, such as strength, intelligence, etc. This is also not true in real life, but this is race science ideology, right? But fantasy stories are telling us that these groups are discriminated against and oppressed on the basis of race, but at the same time, the ideology of race science, which is that some races are smarter, faster, stronger, more intelligent, stronger, etc., than others, is true. Which is a huge fucking problem. And in the cases of races like trolls or goblins, whether it's in this series or it's in Dungeons and Dragons, whatever, there's also like literally a quality of like evil. So we're being told that the trolls are experiencing like structural oppression, like they're systematically impoverished and oppressed by this kind of a system, the Fabletown government system, which has policies that exploit trolls and target trolls and other non-human fables. But also, the trolls actually fucking eat people. So, on one hand, they're telling you that racism is a thing that exists, and on the other hand, they're telling you that the ideology that justifies racism, that is race science, so the idea that some races have certain inherent mental and physical qualities, which is false. They're telling you that that's true. So that almost justifies the racism that they experience. And then often these games are saying to you as a player, oh, racism is really complicated because discrimination is bad, structural oppression is bad, but also they kind of are evil, so maybe they deserve it. And that's a really big problem, guys. Like, this is a really big fucking problem. And it's so normalized within fantasy and science fiction. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, that is race science. That is white supremacy. That's white supremacist ideology. That's race science, which is a pseudoscience. It's false. But we are so inundated with this narrative in science fiction and fantasy that it's such a concerning and such a powerful example of how culturally we are taught and internalize race science. It's a real fucking issue. It's really bad. It's really fucking bad. Oh. Sorry, I was just thinking about that with what it was saying about her eating people. Yeah, and there's also the fact that they're capable of committing great violence, like the vampires in Vampire the Masquerade. So it's almost like the bigotry is justified. Well, it's interesting because Vampire the Masquerade is different. Because vampires are not necessarily on the receiving end of structural oppression. It's kind of the opposite. So, yeah, I think that is a slightly different example. But I'm not an expert as to the point that you are, Faye, on the Vampire the Masquerade universe. But from what I can tell from having played Swansong and seen bits of Bloodlines, I think it operates slightly differently. Because and in a lot of fantasy universes it's slightly different. So sometimes racism is just social discrimination. Sometimes in the fantasy universe, in some fantasy universes it's social discrimination and structural class-based oppression, which is what racism actually is. But you don't have it like exploring the idea that race is like socially constructed in order to oppress groups of people, because in these fantasy texts race is a biological reality and scientific racism is like confirmed as being true. But of course, like structural economic oppression is different, because is different from social discrimination. Like the two are connected, but they're not necessarily the same thing. Like, because a group experiences some amount of social discrimination doesn't mean that they're materially oppressed necessarily. So understanding like the difference as well as the convergence between those two things is important. And in this story, we're kind of having a convergence between those two things, where like non-humans, in this case trolls in particular, are experiencing like social discrimination, but also structural oppression because they're being like economically exploited by other fables and by racist policies of the Fabletown government. So it's not just social discrimination, it's like actual material oppression. But at the same time, it's telling us that race science is true. Yeah, but I don't know if the sad Catholics are oppressing vampires. You know what I mean? Like the sad Catholics don't like control social institutions like policy and economics and stuff like that. They just hunt and kill vampires, which is violent and is targeting vampires. but I don't know if it constitutes, like, oppression. Like, I don't know if you could say that the vampires in Vampire the Masquerade are, like, on the receiving end of some kind of, like, systematic material oppression. But again, I don't know the ins and outs of the lore, so I would put a pin in that. Anyway. Georgie Porgy. That's also familiar to me. That's a familiar name. That's ringing a bell, but I don't know what bell it's ringing. Georgie runs the Pudding and Pie, a strip club that also oh my god, this is the thing. Okay, it's ringing bells. I have to Google this right now. It's because this is one of those fucking English nursery rhymes. Georgie Porgy, Pudding and Pie. Yep, it's a nursery rhyme. Yep. Yeah, okay, it's all coming back to me. I'm in primary school again. Georgie Porgy, Pudding and Pie kissed the girls and made them cry. When the girls come out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. Yeah, that's a nursery rhyme. So that's interesting as well, because that is also not a fairy tale. That is a nursery rhyme. So, interesting. The logic of, like, what counts as a fable is interesting in this universe. I kind of feel like the person who created this had a very loose definition of that, because we've got Anglo-Saxon poetry, we've got nursery rhymes. Okay, well, and I guess that person was like, the nursery rhyme is about a boy who kisses a bunch of girls and they don't like it, so I'm gonna make him a pimp. Anyway, Georgie runs the Pudding and Pie, a strip club that also caters to the unmentionable desires of Fabletown's citizens. He has tried just about everything there is to try in pursuit of worldly pleasures, but none of it satisfies him for long. He does seem to enjoy pushing people's buttons. He takes pride in his nightclub and doesn't react well to anyone meddling in his affairs. Clever Hans, bouncer / janitor / handyman. Clever Hans always does exactly as he's told. However, he often misunderstands his instructions and ends up hurting himself or behaving oddly, as in the case of his noted fable, where he threw sheep's eyes at his wife. Okay, this is not what I was thinking. I was wondering if it was Hansel from Hansel and Gretel, but it's not. Unsurprisingly, she left him, and now Hans works as a bouncer at Georgie's club. He hopes to dance on stage one day, but for now he's content sweeping up and making sure the crowd doesn't get out of hand. I'm not sure if I know the story that's from, so... Nerissa, the Little Mermaid. Nerissa's story never had a happy ending. She's known as the Little Mermaid, the young girl who gave up her tail for a pair of legs in the hopes of winning the heart of a handsome prince. When he married a princess instead, Nerissa was left heartbroken. She made the journey to the mundane world, hoping for a better life. Now she dances at the Pudding and Pie, but each step she takes feels like walking on shards of glass. She has very little left, but finds some comfort in the company of her fellow dancers. Okay, that's it. Let's check up on trophies real quick, but it's just going to be finishing the different chapters. Okay, perfect. Looks like we're almost done the episode. No problem, Faye. Thanks for stopping by, and hope your counseling goes well.
Bigby, I assume you'll be filing some kind of an official report or something. Which is fine, it's just that I was wondering if I need to be in it. Do you have to mention my name? I mean, it's not like Beast would ever see your report. It's just, well, you never know.
You're asking me to lie.
Not lie, just not include my name. Just say you talked to the clerk or something. You'll do what you have to. I just want you to know that that would help me. Well, here we are. Which one was it?
204, but gonna investigate. Because I can. .207 is the one that Lily was meeting Mr. Smith in.
You have keys to these rooms?
I thought you had a key.
Not to this one.
Hold on, Bigby. I can't just let you go into any room you want. Seriously, what if someone found out? I could get into a lot of trouble.
You have to let me in there. This is the room, 207.
But
This is the room Lily was in.
Fine.
Oh, I feel bad. I don't want to, like, get you in trouble.
Well, that's weird. This key is supposed to open every room in the building, but it's not working.
Beauty!
Ah, shit.
Beast?
Bigby?
Oh, God.
How could you do this to me?
This is so classic.
How could you do this? We've been together through everything. I took care of you. I love.
It's not what you
Oh
think.
my
Please.
God. Can you stop
You're
being a
cheating
man
on
for
me.
like 1 second?
Him?
No, Beast. I promise I'm not. I'm helping him. That's all.
I'll bet. I'm sure you help each other just great. I know what this place is.
Relax, Beast. It's not what you think.
Stop lying to me. What the fuck is wrong with you? She's my
Can
wife.
you
Beast,
calm the
listen
fuck
to me.
down?
There's nothing going on. I'm not.
Hey!
Bastard! I guess I finally see you for who you are.
Stop it.
You told me you had seen her, you fucking liar.
Listen to your wife. Just calm down and...
Beast.
Yeah, honestly, try listening to your wife, you fucking creep. Ah!
What the hell do you think you're doing? You aren't even listening to me.
No, that's because he's a man.
She's my wife, Bigby.
Ugh.
I told you. Just stop.
Ah, smash! Okay.
Please. Leave him be. This is my fault.
I know, but also...
Please, no. I understand.
Oh God. You could tell this in my voice, but I'm just like over it.
Bigby, no! Don't hurt him!
Listen, I'm just trying to defend myself. But I don't exactly want to get into some kind of fucking pissing contest with this prick.
She's my fuck. Shit, Bigby.
What have you done?
Yeah, honestly. You've just showed up and like ruined things at her
What is
workplace.
this? Bigby.
Look what you did to the door! You can't just act like this whenever
Stand
you-
back. You don't want to see this.
Shit.
What? Why? What's going on? Oh my God.
Don't touch anything.
Is this?
Lily met her client here. Mr. Smith, whoever he is.
And then?
Must have happened right here.
Jesus.
Last night?
Yeah.
I was on shift last night.
On shift? Beauty. What?
I'm not a prostitute, you idiot. I work the front desk.
So that's...
Yeah.
Still, this is no
Also,
place
even
for
if she
someone
was
like
doing
you.
sex work,
I mean,
like,
look,
it's none of your
can we
fucking
please not
business
talk
to
about this?
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
judge her for that.
There might have been some loud noises.
I don't know. I mean, loud noises aren't out of the ordinary. I didn't hear anyone screaming or anything like that, but shouldn't I have? It just seemed like
I mean, no
totally
wonder she was
normal
keeping
night.
it a secret.
How is that even possible? There's so much blood.
Go lock the front door. Keep people out of the hallway. I need you to be sure no one comes in here. This is a crime scene, okay?
But
just do what he says. I'll explain later, okay?
Dump him! Dump his fucking ass! Dump this fucking dickhead! Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry. I'm so...
What kind of a person could do something like
I don't have
this?
time for it.
That's exactly what I'm about to try to find out.
I do not have time for that kind of bullshit.
Do all the rooms have these same clocks with the built-in cassette player?
I think so, yes. I can't believe this. What is that?
It's a book about Snow White. Or about the Mundy version of her story, anyway.
This looks like it's in German? But I don't know.
The whole book is about her?
Yeah.
The first post-it note said beautiful, and then this one, in reference to the apple, says Fuji, Red Delicious, Empire.
Why is she in a glass coffin?
This is the part where she's in a deep sleep, but they think she's dead.
Was she breathing? This post-it says. Yeah, someone's got some kind of weird obsession with Snow White going on.
It's a huff and puff.
I thought you were the only one who smoked that crap.
Apparently not.
Wow. Huff and puff.
He brought wine.
Classy. We shouldn't even be in here.
For my arrival. Okay. Oh god, I can see a costume in there.
Someone's been rough with this dress. It's torn.
Oh no, she must have been wearing it. He killed her and then he took it back off?
No, there's no blood on it. It must have been torn some other time.
It's the dress in the book, I think, so someone's got some...
What is it?
Looks like a snow costume. I'm not gonna be weird about anything else right now.
This is the same dress as the one in the book about snow. I think Smith was dressing Lily up in it to recreate the snow from the book.
You're right. It's the same dress. I guess he wanted to get the details right. God, role-playing as a person who really exists, who we know. That's just weird. I'm not sure who to feel worse for. Okay, no. I take that back.
Yeah.
God.
I'm sorry, Beauty. Can I tell you to dump your boyfriend? Can I do that? How do I find out who rents the room?
How can I find out who rented this room?
Find whoever has the key? I'm pretty sure this one must be held long-term. And we don't keep a register or anything. This place is intentionally kind of anonymous.
I keep hearing that. Is there anything else you can tell me about last night? Anything that sticks out in your mind?
Sorry, no, it just seemed like every other night does. That's exactly what's bothering me. From now on, I'll just be down there imagining this.
Yeah, that's pretty horrific, girl. I'm sorry. The whole thing about her and Beast having that conversation and her being like, I'm not doing sex work though, I'm just working the front desk, is interesting because that's also kind of a trope where,
poor girl.
like, you know, like a husband or a male partner thinks that his, like, wife or girlfriend or whatever is doing sex work, and then it's like, oh, I'm not doing sex work, I'm only, like, you know, working the front desk or whatever, as if, like, you know, obviously in a kind of judgmental or condescending way, as though, like, sex work is, like, some kind of unspeakable, horrible kind of work, and if that was what she was doing, then that would be unforgivable and horrible and blah, blah, blah. And it's just... it just sucks. it's something that, like, I don't know, it kind of manifests sometimes and it seems innocuous, but it really isn't. Like, I thought a lot about how Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that I really, really love, genuinely love, really like it. It's got its issues that I'm more than happy to, like, critique and talk about, and one of the things I think about a lot is how Judy's plotline has a lot to do with sex work and, you know, the kind of oppression and the exploitation that sex workers are experiencing, and kind of the violence that they experience and how to fight back against that. But Judy herself is not a sex worker, and she's the character that you have the closest relationship to, that's connected to sex work and that you can have a romantic relationship to, but she herself is not a sex worker. And any of the other characters who are sex workers are extremely, like, minor in that game, and I do think that that's, like, a problem. But I mean, so much of this stuff is, like, you know, this game, Cyberpunk, a lot of media that portrays sex workers, even when it's not necessarily, like, noir media like this. And I kind of talked about the issues of these tropes about sex workers in, like, noir murder mystery media, but it's just, like, the way that that sex workers are never at the center of the story or if they are, it's not in a meaningful way, never given any agency. A lot of these games, films, etc. are not written or created by sex workers about their own lives, so they don't have agency in the creation of this media, and they don't have agency, like, within these stories, really, and it's just a big fucking problem. And you know, it's quite a pertinent topic at the moment because of all the discourse around Anora, which I have seen Anora, and I am in the camp of not particularly liking Anora, because even though a sex worker is the main character and the movie doesn't judge her necessarily for doing sex work, it's Sean Baker, the writer-director, has, like, a weird fucking fascination with sex work. He just has to make movies about sex workers. To my knowledge, he is not a sex worker, has never done sex work, and so I don't know what's going on, like, why he's so obsessed with making movies about sex workers. Anora is, like, the film is named after her, that she is ostensibly the main character, and yet that movie couldn't is just, it's not about her. Like, she as a character has no depth, and the movie continually prioritizes, like, other people's perspectives of her or other people's experiences of what is going on in her story, and the story is, like, more about, and the story doesn't, like, meaningfully explore, like, who she is, what she wants, what her experiences are, what her relationships are. Instead, it just kind of, like, focuses on this, like, you know, comma tragedy plot about, like, the Vegas marriage, and then trying to annul the Vegas marriage, but she doesn't want to. And it's just, yeah, there's a lot to be said about it, but it's just a very good example of, like, there are so many people who are like, oh, I really love that, really, really love that movie. And these people are, I mean, I think the bar is in hell for sex worker representation, so that's kind of, like, part of it. Like, so many people are probably watching that movie and being like, oh my god, sex workers are people, I never knew. Because the movie meets the bare minimum of, like, not judging her for doing sex work. But it just has nothing interesting to say, and it doesn't particularly, like, prioritize her agency or her humanity or her, like, depth or emotion or anything as a person, except for, like, maybe one or two scenes. And yeah, I've just been thinking about that a lot, and I think a lot of the people who don't like Anora, and I've read reviews and stuff from people who don't like it, are sex workers themselves, or people who've done sex work, or people who have a more critical thinking when it comes to sex work and sex workers' representation in media. Because it's not even that it's like really bad and I hate it, but it's just when it comes to it as a representation of sex work, it's really just not very good. And there's like a lot that we need to be like criticizing about it that is maybe like more subtle or less obvious than it is in other problematic media about sex workers, but it's definitely still an issue. Anyway.
Just unbelievable.
Yes, sorry, what Beauty was saying was making me think about that.
Looks like she was lying down when she was killed. Flowers were already here.
How do you know that?
Blood pattern. Also, I'd say the body was dragged off the foot of the bed. There.
The body. Jesus. You could say she. Poor girl.
Thank you, Beauty.
I can't even imagine. What? What are you thinking? Bigby!
It looks like Snow's coffin from the book. He's reenacted the scene with her lying here, surrounded by flowers. Mr. Smith put Lily to rest here.
You're right. It fits. He's acting out scenes from the book. That poor girl.
It's just interesting to note as well that like Bigby's approach to these whole situations is so like clinical and depersonalized and like objectifying of everything, and this scene is really interesting because you have such a strong contrast with Beauty, who is having like an emotional and personal reaction. She's like empathizing with how horrible this situation must have been for Lily, because she's thinking of Lily as like a human being who experienced some like horrible, unspeakable violence, and Bigby is not. So it's just it's a pretty powerful contrast in this scene, actually.
She couldn't have known. She probably just needed the money. She could have been anyone. How did she wind up here?
Oh my god, Beauty, you're too good for this world. Please leave your boyfriend.
Just how does a person...
We can't know the answer to that. Every situation is different.
Yeah. She must have been so scared.
Oh, Beauty, you're so nice. She's just so nice. You're too good for this world. Please leave your horrible boyfriend. Please.
Maybe she didn't see it coming. Bigby, this? I think I heard this music last night. It was playing pretty loudly for a while and then stopped in the middle. I didn't think twice about it at the time. I mean, you hear all kinds of things around here, and I guess I've already gotten used to blocking them out.
Could have covered up the sound of the murder.
That's what I was thinking.
Damn it. Get it together, Beauty. Be strong. Do you smell something?
Ah, the apple.
Just apple.
Was it poisoned?
Oh no, there's more? What? What now?
It's got a single bite taken out of it, like in Snow's story.
Oh no. Do you think it was poisoned?
It wasn't. I'd have smelled that. I think it's just a prop. It's here because they were acting out the scene in the book.
Of course. That makes perfect sense.
This is fucking creepy.
He's just acting out another part of the book. God, I can see the whole picture now. It all goes together like you said. This creep put that girl in a Snow White dress and recreated the whole story from the book with the apple and the deep sleep and everything. You're a better detective than I thought you'd be.
Thanks.
So he planned it all out. He had all the details noted down. Only then, when it comes time to kiss her and wake her up.
Yeah.
I hope you're just about through. I don't really want to stay in here any longer.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, a note? Oh god.
Are those pictures of the dead girl? How do you know?
I'm in this one. It was taken last winter.
Oh no. Bigby. This kind of stalking, it doesn't just stop by itself. Trust me, I know about this firsthand. He'll keep trying to get closer and closer.
His stand-in for Snow is gone now, so...
The next step closer. What is it?
It's Crane.
You know what? You know what? That tracks. That tracks. That fucking tracks. Oh my god. Oh god.
He could be after you now.
Good. I am dying to get my hands on that disgusting weasel.
Oh, creepy.
Really starting to like you, Sheriff. You're not afraid to be a complete bastard.
Obviously, there will have to be some changes.
Hello, Bigby.
Take care of it, Bigby, or I'll take care of it for you.
Jesus Christ, Bigby. Is that you?
Okay, so my immediate thing is that I'm really concerned that I've fucked up, in the sense that I am concerned that that I missed my chance to go into room 204 and talk to Nerissa. And I thought that I would be able to do that, and I just wanted to have a snoop around first, and then I would be able to talk to her. But now I'm worried that I didn't get the chance to, and now something really horrible is gonna have happened to her. So I'm obviously hoping that that didn't happen, but I'm just worried about it now. I guess we'll see. I don't know. How did you respond to Crane about Snow's death? You and 13.5% of players ignored him. How did you treat the murder suspect? You and 62.4% of players persuaded him to talk. Okay, it's interesting because obviously this first one is pretty interesting in the sense that Crane would have known that it wasn't actually Snow that was dead, but it was Lily. So that scene must be quite interesting in retrospect. And also, like, I guess I did kind of a mix of things, but it felt like the game was sometimes reading that I had tortured or hurt Tweedledee more than I had. I mean, I did a little bit, but I didn't loads. And the choices has registered that I persuaded him rather than tortured him, which is interesting. Did you let Snow come with you to the trip trap? You and 91.9% of players let her make her own decision. Good. How did you handle Georgie Porgy? You and 30.1% of players hit Georgie. Did you keep punching Beast when he was down? You and 77.8% of players opted not to hit Beast a second time. Okay. Okay. Things are getting pretty creepy, but I'm like, what happened to Faith? And how was that possibly connected to this? Because I guess the MO was slightly different because there wasn't the ribbon in the mouth. And it's like, okay, now we've got the reveal for what happened to Lily and that being slightly different. I don't know, it's a strange note for the episode to end on because I'm still intrigued by the mystery. I'm still like, okay, I want to know what is going on, but then also because you have that reveal about Crane and it's only episode 2, there's a slight amount of like, oh, I'm not like on the edge of my seat the way I was at the end of episode 1, you know, where like you have the reveal that Snow is dead, or you think that Snow is dead. Yeah, and in that sense I kind of felt like maybe the pacing and stuff was a bit odd for this episode, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. There's certainly interesting patterns and themes that are emerging that, you know, I discussed and started to pick up on in the first episode, but like how this game is handling things like fantasy, race, metaphors, and also sex work, and all of the issues that are kind of entangled with the noir genre in general. I think, you know, I'm still liking it and wanting to know what happens and play on, but I don't know. Yeah, there's a certain degree with which I'm not like vibing with this game as much as maybe I hoped I would be. But I'm gonna let it cook. You know, that was only episode 2. I'm gonna let it cook.